Hey guys, I just want to do a quick video reminding you to get ready, prepare for the freeze, big freeze that's coming to most of the United States. Even if you're in the South, it's fixing to get cold. We don't deal with these types of temperatures very well and very often, but some of the things you can do, obviously, and some of you know exactly what I'm going to say, but some of the things you can do is protect your pipes outside for sure. Anything that's outside that's got water that's charged, that the water is active to it. Any hose, faucet, anything like that, you need to wrap. You need to put a freeze miser on it. If you've got a freeze miser, those work fantastic. If you've got outside water that is on a well, you can either do the freeze miser, but if you don't, not going to do a freeze miser, something like that, then make sure you drain your well, drain the tank, everything. Don't just turn it off and think you're okay. All the water has to be out of the pipes, and to make it happen, my land kind of slopes downhill from the well, from the house on down. So I make sure I open the faucets at the house to give absence of vacuum, I guess you'd say. So in other words, the water would siphon down from the house to my lowest point, my lowest faucet, which is down by my small pond, and then I'll cover it well, I'll wrap it well, cover it well, get ready for it to get down. All the water's going to run down to it. So unless and this is something you could do if you have an air tank, you could purge your lines, put a pressure on your line and blow all the water out at your lowest place, your lowest faucet. You can blow the water out and purge the line completely, fill the line with air, and where the water's not present. But if the water's present, things can bust, and it can be things that are very expensive, can be things that aren't. It could be a PVC pipe that you just replace and not a big deal. It could be a faucet that is a bigger deal, $5, $10, $15, $20 faucet, or it could be in your house, around your house, inside the wall, under your house. It could be very expensive. So you know this, most of you do. But especially here in the South, we don't deal with this very often. Our faucets are typically not in a crawl space, in a basement area like they are up north. So you northern folks don't understand this. We don't have basements down here in the South. We don't have basements, period. Most houses are built on a slab. If they do have a crawl space, it's a small crawl space, like my house is. It's a small. My house is on what's called pier and beam, which leaves a small crawl space underneath, and you don't want it full of water. You don't want pipes busting. Been there and done that. It's not good. It's not fun. So do that in the house. Make sure when the temp gets below about 25 degrees, I will turn on the faucets, dripping a little bit. And when I say the faucets, I mean just about all of them. You can't turn on the toilets, but the faucets, bathroom faucet, kitchen faucet, turn those on, let them drip. I do more than a drip. The colder it's going to get outside, the more of a drip I get. Instead of a drip, 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 I'll do a small stream, size of a pencil lead, something like that, if that's at all possible. I do a small stream on each of your faucets. Yes, you're wasting water. Big deal. It's a whole lot better than spending $1,000 repairing pipes in several days, if not weeks, without water, because the plumbers are so busy they can't get to you. So do that, and then something else I do that a lot of people don't think about is open the cabinet doors, especially on an outside wall. My kitchen and one of my bathrooms is on an outside wall, which is going to be the coldest. Those pipes are subject to being the coldest pipes in the house. So I open the cabinet doors under my vanities, under my kitchen sink. Make sure those doors are open and let the heated air in the house get down and fill those cavities, fill those places where the pipes come up through the ground, or through the floor, and make sure those areas are heated just like your house is. All you have to do is open the doors. You don't have to put a heater under there, just open the doors. My house is situated where my utility room, where my washer dryer is, is in a different room. So I make sure I open that door, and I also have a vent in there from my central heat. So I turn the air, not the air conditioner, not the heat on. I run with a wood stove. When it gets this cold, I'm totally wood stove. But I do circulate the air in my house through the central unit by just turning the fan on. And the fan will blow in that room where it's got the washer connection, which is on an outside wall, which I really, really, really need to protect. You can't just let your washer drip. And it served me well in the past to just open that door, force air in there through the air conditioning, the forced air system, and keep the house warm enough to where it keeps that keeps that room warm. So that, of course, you got your pets, you got your plants, things like that. I'm gonna do an exercise in futility tomorrow. I'm gonna cover my brassicas. I've got lettuce, buttercrunch lettuce. I've got broccoli, and I've got cabbage. And everything I've read says they do well. The brassicas especially do well to down to about 26, 28 degrees. We're going to be well below that. I'm going to put a freeze cloth on it if I can get out there and do that. Today we got 60-mile-an-hour winds, and 60-mile-an-hour winds when you're trying to put up a freeze cloth would be comical. It'd be a good video to make for you, but it's really not something I want to do. But just take care of your plants. If you can bring them in, and my wife will bring all her little succulents and stuff like that that's out on the back deck. She'll bring all that mess in tonight. Or not tonight, but when the freeze is going to get, which is, I believe, 2 days from now, Sunday night, I think, Monday night, going to get real, real cold. Up north, you've already gotten cold, and Monday's going to be even colder for y'all. I don't know what y'all do when it's minus 20 degrees outside, but do what you got to do. But inside, doors open on cabinets that have pipes in them. Have your plumbing in your cabinet, inside your cabinet. Open those doors. Some people don't think to do that. Man, that protects them so much better than if you don't do that. Outside pipes need to be wrapped. Sometimes I'll put 2 or 3 wrappings on it. I'll wrap it in the things you get from the store with the insulation and stuff like that. I'll wrap it with that. I'll wrap it with newspaper, things like that. Any kind of several layers of wrappings you can do is good. I'll also put, sometimes I've got a bucket, like a 5-gallon bucket or something like that, and I'll line that. If it's going to get real cold, I'll line that with insulation, and I'll put that over it too and find a way to secure that to the wall, outside walls. So just do what you got to do, protect things. I haven't decided if I'm going to use my freeze misers or if I'm going to drain my well. I haven't decided that yet. I've got a freeze miser gizmo thing on my chicken waterer, which would mean they would have fresh water because it would be dripping while it's below freezing. We're going to be 36, 48, maybe 72 hours below freezing. So I got to protect the chickens. Water, got to make sure they got water. I can use their 5-gallon waterer, which I'm probably going to do anyway. Fill up their 5-gallon waterer. And then underneath, I've got it sitting on a Haydite block. And I think underneath the Haydite block, because I'll put a light bulb, a 60-watt light bulb or something, an extension cord running to a light bulb. That should keep their water free and clear. It's just, I don't know why anybody would want to live up north, because I can't stand cold weather. And but we've got to prepare for it. So those simple things, water dripping. The amount of water dripping is should be directly appropriate for the outside temperature. If it's going to be 25 degrees, maybe drip, drip, drip. If it's going to be 20 degrees or 15 degrees, you may want that little stream that's just, like I say, about as big as a pencil lead. But protect your pipes, protect your animals, bring those plants in if you have to, and then keep your water to your outside animals. So make sure you get yourself protected and hunker down. If you got wood you need to cut or wood you need to bring in, if you got a wood stove or a fireplace, you never know if the power is going to go out. Down here, we're not going to get much of a dusting of snow and precipitation. Other places are, and you know what that means. That means limbs coming down and power lines coming down because the limbs fall on them and things like that. Trees can fall too with snow and ice on them. Hopefully we're not going to get that. Hopefully you don't get that. Protect yourself. Take care of yourself. It's going to be tough for a few days. It's going to be cold for a few days. So I want to make this to encourage you and to maybe give you a tip or two that you haven't thought of. I just want you to be blessed and taken care of. So do that for me. Make sure you're taken care of. Let me know what else you're doing in the comments that I've forgotten. A lot of people read the comments, and I'll encourage you to read the comments, especially if you're up north. Now, if you're up north, you're a little bit different because your houses are built different and things like that. We're not, you've got more protection because you're accustomed to it. The houses are built so to withstand or to be able to withstand the sub-zero temperatures. Now, we're not going to get sub-zero. We're going to get down to teens, maybe 10 or 12, which is cold, dadgum cold for us. So protect yourselves. Let me know what you're doing in the comments, and just be good, be careful, and hopefully we'll see you next week. We're gone.